Just like most kids around the world, I had so many stuffed animals growing up. I had many ranging from tiny plushies to giant gorillas my size. And just like most of us, as we grow up, we stop playing with what was once our best friends. They become nothing more than a piece of fabric and stuffing that resemble innocence and childhood. However, there are some that I will never let go of, some that are a little more special than just a nostalgic feeling. These little guys helped me through a lot of hard times. This is my Scooby-Doo pillow. I'm gonna call him Pillow for short, just because I don't feel like saying his whole name. Pillow has been with me the longest, probably for around 15 years now. And growing up, my mom tried to get rid of him or give me other pillows just in case, he got lost. But it never really worked. One time she tried to give me a Goji Go pillow and I ripped his eyes out. So it's pretty obvious that Pillow was irreplaceable to me. For the longest time, I could not sleep without him. One time, my family and I went to Guatemala and my mom forgot to bring Pillow. That night was a nightmare. Just say there was a lot of crying and temper tantrums. Luckily, my dad was coming 2 days after and brought me Pillow. And if not, that would have been horrible. My parents really never understood why Pillow meant so much to me, but the answer is pretty simple. When I was around a year old, my brother saw how much I liked the pillow and he gave it to me. Pillow was the first gift that my brother ever gave to me, and that's why I kept him. That's it. Wow. Thankfully, he doesn't watch my videos though, because I could never admit that to him. The amount of tears that Pillow has seen, let's just say it could probably fill up the Pacific Ocean. For those of you who don't know, I've dealt with pretty bad anxiety since I was around 9 years old. The only place I felt safe or calm was in my bedroom. Every other place was really terrifying. Going out was now a struggle. Whenever I went out or stepped outside, I felt like I was suffocating or I was gonna die or I was gonna pass out or I was gonna throw up. Whenever I felt nervous or anxious, I would take Pillow with me and I would hold him until I felt calm. So this beat up pillow saved me from a lot of panic attacks. Next, we have my lovely monkey Changgis. I'm not entirely sure how long I've had her for, but I'm gonna estimate around 10 years. Now she was my best friend. As a kid, I'd dress her up and take her on adventures. As you can see, she's still wearing a shirt that I refuse to take off her. I'm the baby of my family because I have 2 older brothers. So I treated her like my baby. She was my cuddle buddy and the reason why monkeys are now one of my favorite animals. She's been more places in the world than maybe some of you guys have been. She's been to Guatemala, Miami, Nevada, Arizona. She's also been on pretty much every road trip that my family and I went on when I was younger. But again, as I grew older, I stopped dragging her along everywhere. When I was experiencing the worst anxiety when I was around 4th and 5th grade, I didn't really rely on Changgis. I more relied on pillows. I just put her to the side. But when I started making videos, she was the star of a lot of them. Unfortunately, I can't recover them because they're on an old computer that doesn't work anymore. So I don't have most of the videos, but she did show up on my famous talk show, Grecia Talk.
Hi, today on Grecia Talk, we are going to interview Changgis Martinez. What inspired you to write? Okay, check 3 questions. Bye.
Once I started getting more stuffed animals, my mom said I had to move some of them to the garage. And because I didn't listen to her, one day while I was at school, she put a bunch of them in the bag and put them in the garage. Changgis was unlucky that day and she made it in the batch that was not allowed back in my room anymore. And there she went with all of my abandoned toys. I needed to make a trailer for my English class, and because of the school shutting down, all the parts that I had written had to be played by stuffed animals. And while I was looking for my perfect actors, I found Changgis again. And of course, when I saw her, I knew I had to bring her back to my room. I guess When I look at her, she's kind of a time capsule, if that makes sense, because she brings back so many memories since she went on so many trips with me. She resembles like happy times in my life when everything was carefree and normal, and when I was just me being a kid. Last but not least, we have the one and only Tribe. Tribe is a little different than the other two. He was given to me in 7th grade, so a lot older than Jahzzar and Pillow. He was given to me by a friend of mine. From time to time, she'd take him to school, and when she would, she'd let me borrow him throughout the day. But one time, she let me take him home. And after seeing how emotionally attached I got to him, she let me keep him for good. Now, Tribe was just like Pillow. I'd take him around basically anywhere, just in case I felt nervous or anxious. I'd hold him and I'd just calm myself down. Now, because Pillow is pretty old, he was my new companion and my new therapist. I didn't realize until maybe around 9th grade why Tribe made me feel so safe despite having him for a short amount of time. It has to do with something my therapist told me when I was around 9 years old. Trying to explain anxiety to 9-year-olds is really difficult. I myself did not really understand what I was feeling, so the therapist trying to explain to me what I was feeling, it didn't really click in my head. But she tried. She told me that there are 2 monsters on your shoulder, a good one and a bad one, and they're always going to be fighting, but you can't ever let the bad one win, which is like a really sugar-coated version of telling a 9-year-old to not let your demons win. As time progressed, I got better at controlling what I felt, and now I kind of understand it. Not really though. I still don't understand why things happen, but I guess psychologically, when I saw Tribe, I saw the monsters that she was talking about. Somehow in my mind, I saw, without really thinking, that he was my relationship with anxiety. So it was like a mix of both of the monsters that my therapist told me about. I knew that this little guy to me would represent anxiety, and I'm so thankful for the friend group that I had in middle school, because in middle school there are so many judgmental people and I never felt judged. So when I would carry him around, they'd all thought it was adorable. I stopped bringing him around everywhere in the middle of 8th grade. Letting go of him was just a sign to myself that I can control my demons without relying on him. So this was when Pillow, Jahzzar, and Tribe became just my stuffed animals on my bed, and not these figures I relied on to help me get through life. I was debating making this video because I felt kind of, embarrassed to be like, oh wow, look at me. These stuffed animals, these inanimate objects helped me through so much. I'm not gonna deny the truth and say that they didn't, because they clearly did. So I know for a fact that a lot of other people have stuffed animals or a blankie, I don't know, that has helped them get through hard times. And I just wanna say that if anyone's ever judged you for it, don't listen to them, because what that means to you is something that you'll ever understand. And you, like I said, you know why they mean so much to you. So don't ever feel pressured to give them up because you're growing, because you're becoming, an adult, or throw them away because you're too old for them. The relationship that I have with these are something that's special to me and something I'll only understand, just like how many of you probably have something similar. So it's not silly or stupid. It's actually a pretty beautiful thing that these inanimate objects could mean so much to us and bring us so much joy and hold so many memories. So don't ever let them go.